Hello, it's me, Tanielle Jai, and welcome to this tutorial on the gorgeous Crystal. We are creating a really cute, pretty, sexy pink makeup. So off camera, I cleanse the skin with the Bioderma Micellar water just to clean off the skin. We had done a previous makeup look, so we cleaned it all off. And I just love to start that, and especially on the eye area, I cleanse the eyes. Then I've gone in with the Chanel Sublimage La Brume. It's all in the list, so don't kill me for saying it wrong. Just a little bit of hydration spritz. Then I've gone in with the Charlotte Tilbury, the Magic Cream. I just love this for all over the face. It just gives a really beautiful glow. Just the scent to me smells really nostalgic as well. Like it would be like the moisturizer that your grandmother wore and you'd go in as a 5-year-old kid and always steal a little bit. And once that's all soaked in, I like to go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Eye Cream, the Eye Rescue Cream. It's really, really beautiful and lightweight for underneath the eyes, and I love to apply an eye cream under the eye area because the skin is so thin and delicate underneath the eyes. I don't use eye creams on the top lid at all because our lids tend to be a little bit more oily. So I put that underneath. It's going to help your concealer stay on way better. And then I go in with the Dior Lip Glow Oil, the 001 Pink. I'm not too fussed on those colors, like I just pick whatever. It's just a really nice lip oil because I kind of like it to kind of soak into the lip by the time I get up to my lip products, because I'm doing more of a kind of semi-matte lip with this look. Now I'm going in with the $1 Billion Brow Powder in Taupe, and I always like to start at the end of the brow, fill that out, and then as I come to the front, I kind of just fill in little sparse areas, but not too heavy because I don't really want a heavy brow. She's got beautifully natural kind of shaped brow, so I'm just kind of filling in the gaps, brushing it through to make sure that you don't really see where it starts and stops. Once my brow powder's on, I'm going in with the Schwarzkopf Got2B Gel. This is a great brow gel. It will keep your brows in place, rain, hail or shine. Honestly, this stuff is amazing. It's really good for flyaways, so it's just a really good product to have in your kit because it does so many different things. But yeah, trust me, your brows will not move with this. The coarsest of hairs will stay in place. Just after you apply it, just make sure you push your brows down. Rare Beauty, this is the Illuminating Primer. Is it the best primer out there? It's just good. It's an illuminating primer. Like, how good can one be? I just like that it gives the skin an overall nice kind of glow. You can get so many different illuminating primers, and a little hack, just mix a little bit of your liquid illuminators with your moisturizers. That's going to create the same kind of product. This one's just one that I picked out of my kit, so I was like, why not? It's beautiful, it's nice, and it suits pretty much everyone. That is one thing that I do like about this product. It is not heavily pigmented. It just gives a nice pearlescent glow. Next, I'm going in with the Pink Honey Bronzing Face Frosting bronzer in the shade Salted Caramel. Now, the packaging will maybe you're gonna love it, maybe you're gonna hate it. I think it's kind of cute. It's not aesthetically pleasing for me, but it's kind of 90s, so I kind of vibe it. But I'm using this as like an underpainting technique, so I'm going to create my structure underneath my foundation. Am I going to use that much foundation today? Not really. So I'm going to use this as like a hybrid of contour and bronzer. So I like to focus on the outside of the face, really bring that warmth in so that the center of the face is in focus. And it's really important not to forget this area that I'm doing right now. I love to take it down the nose a little bit, not to really add to slim the nose or anything. She's got a great nose, but more to add dimension, and so that I'm not just one color in the center of the face. So I really like to focus on that area. I'm using my concealer brush to apply this as well, and I just find this little brush just really helps me get in the areas that I want. And then we're going to go and blend it out with my cream buffer brush in just a minute, so keep watching. Now I'm going back in with my little concealer brush just to kind of make sure that all that nose is nice and blended, and kind of brushing up into the brows a little bit, because once I add all my concealer and everything, it's kind of going to all blend away. Then with my concealer brush, I'm going in with the MAC Pro Longwear Paint Pot in Layin Low. I love this color. It's a really nice natural medium skin color. Painted Lily is a lighter one, and then there's another deeper shade which I just used the other day. I'll have to get it, but it's really beautiful, but it's coming up. So I love this just to kind of get all over the eyes, and that's going to help my eyeshadows sit on a lot better. Something I'm going to do after this is just take that bronzer, the Salted Caramel, and kind of press it back over the top. Just that's going to help that bronzer set in place, but also again, I really love that inner eye area, so I take it right underneath the brows. I just love it, and it kind of blends into that contour into the nose. Okay, here I'm going to be using my little detailed blender brush. It's my number 7 brush, and I'm using that Layin Low paint pot underneath the eyes as well, because that's going to help the eyeshadow sit underneath. I find, again, because the under eye area can shift and move, that area is a lot more creasy than the rest of the face. So using a little paint pot, a little bit of eye primer is going to really ensure that your eye makeup doesn't move. Okay, so the day before I went out and purchased this, it's the new Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in Pink Pop, and oh my god, it is so cute. I love it. You know what? The color, actually, when you first apply, I was like, oh, it's not giving much, but it kind of oxidizes and becomes brighter as you apply it. So I applied it with my face powder brush first. It's like a natural hair brush. And then I'm going back in to blend around the edges with my cream buffer brush. But honestly, this color is so cute. It's a perfect poppy pink. Like, it's just, it's a cool tone pink, but it's still got a little bit of warmth in it. So it's not like, I don't know whether you've seen that Dior blush, it went viral. It's not as pink as that. This one's just so much more universal. I feel it's just really beautiful. So I took that on the heights of the cheek, and then just sitting above that contour. And then I'm taking it just onto the forehead a little bit, because I kind of want it to be like she's sun-kissed, sunburnt a little bit. But yeah, I really like a bit of a blush moment there. What am I doing here? I'm taking the Dior Forever Skin Correct Concealer in 3W, and I'm mixing that with the Kosas Revealer Super Creamy Concealer in 3.20. Why did I mix them? I just wanted to find the perfect shade. And I kind of feel like the Kosas Concealer, it needs a little bit of that Dior for staying power and to crease less. And then the Dior sometimes I find can be a little bit heavy, so that Kosas kind of breaks it down a little bit. So I love both concealers. I often will use them on their own. But yeah, just for this look, I felt like mixing the two. But grab your favorite concealer. I like to go for one that's a little bit lighter than the skin color, maybe 2 shades lighter, because I like to add that brightness in the center of the face. It's going to give dimension. It's going to focus your eyes towards the center of the face and lift all that area. Now once all is applied, the concealer, I'm going to go in with my base brush and I'm going to buff that in. So I'm kind of just dabbing it into the skin. I use this brush like I would a beauty blender. That's why I created this brush. Am I the biggest fan of like a sponge? Not really, because I find that they harbor a lot of bacteria, so I prefer a brush, and I love a big dome one like this. So really pat it into the skin, it melts into the skin, and then I use my cream buffer brush just around those edges where I've done the contour bronzy color, just to make sure that I'm not wiping it away. That just has a nice seamless blend. So that's why I kind of hold the two brushes. I've got my base brush that I use with the concealer, cream buffer brush to buff around the edges. Now I'm taking like a pea size worth of foundation. This is the Dior 4WO, and I'm using my base brush just to kind of blend in around those areas. So I'm almost, this is going to become like a 1-layer makeup. So I'm just diffusing the concealer with the bronzer, the concealer with the blush, and just kind of making sure that everything melts together with that tiny bit of concealer, foundation. This is the Mary Phillips type of application that kind of went viral a few weeks ago, but a lot of makeup artists have been doing this for a long time, and I've found that this really works, especially when I'm on set. I don't want too many layers. So now I had a little bit of that Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk Matte Beauty Blush Wand in Pink Pop left on my hand, so I thought, what a cute way to just use this up and put it on the lips. So I used my crease and apply brush and I just popped that on the lips. And I just really vibed it. I thought that was really cute. Now I'm going in with Givenchy Prism Libra Viol Rose. Oh, I'm not saying that right. The powder, and I'm using my little powder puff and just pressing that into the center of the face to really, I want to really blurred out center for this look. We are in a photo shoot this day, so I wanted not too much shine in the center. And I just love this powder because it's super lightweight. It doesn't feel heavy and it feels really nice and light, but I'm powdering quite heavily in the center, and then I'm going to dust that away with my highlight brush a little bit later on. A little note here too, I love to pop the powder underneath the contour, so I'm really lightly dabbing it underneath. This is going to really make your contour pop. Honestly, it's just lovely. So while that powder kind of settles in on the skin, I'm going to dust it away later. I'm using the Gemini 2 palette. This is from M.A.C Cosmetics, and I love their eyeshadows. They are so pigmented. They're black eyeshadows, like the blackest black. They're amazing. So I'm using the shade Sweetheart, and I'm dusting that underneath the eye using the detailed blender brush in my brush kit, and I'm just taking that all on the outer corner, and I'm kind of bringing it a little bit into the outer corner of the eye and into the crease of the eye as well. At this point, I'm like, what am I doing? I don't know, but I'm vibing the pinky undertones, so let's just do it. And I love kind of accentuating the crease of the eye, so I'm just keeping that mobile lid nice and clean, and just focusing on the crease in the outer corner of the eye to really open up the eye. Eyeshadow along that lower lash line will open up the eye, and popping that color through the crease is going to make the eye look even more open as well. So really blending and blending. When you think you've finished blending, just keep blending. Okay, so now going in with the shade Bella, it's the lightest color in the palette, with my Rescue Smudger brush, and just popping this in the inner corner of the eyes. Is the color payoff that great? It's just a nice light pink, but later on I decide we're going to step it up a little bit more. But for now, I'm just kind of blending that from the inner corner into that crease. Alright, now it is time to dust away any of that excess powder. So I'm using my highlight brush and just blending it away all around wherever I powdered. Now I'm going to use this shade Lovesick from the Gemini 2 palette, and I'm using my little eyeliner brush and just really stepping up the crease, and I'm just kind of dabbing it in to the lash line there, just on the outer corner, and then I'm going to take that slightly into the crease of the eye to create like a cut crease, but not quite, you know, because I've got all that blending underneath. So that kind of helps to create more of a kind of smudgier looking cut crease, if that makes sense. Okay, now we're going back in with that Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk About Beauty Blush 1 in Pink Pop, and I'm using my little diffuse, like my detailed blender, and I'm taking that in the inner corner of the eye, up into that bit of a brow bone, and just kind of buffing that in. This color, again, as I said earlier, it kind of does oxidize and become a lot pinker as you apply. I can't really explain it, but it is really, really pretty. So I'm popping that in here because I just want to step up the pink. I want to make this like a really pink moment. Okay, now taking my Define Liner brush, I've dipped it into Lovesick in the Gemini 2 palette, and I'm going to smoke up underneath. So I really like to start in the inner corner, and I almost keep the center of the eye a little bit thinner. So I apply a lot of eyeshadow on that inner corner of the eye. Then when I get to center, a little bit thinner, and then as I come to the outer corner, I make it a little bit thicker. This is going to straighten out the eye. It's going to make the eye look really snatched, really open, and not rounded. It's going to keep it looking really nice and almond. So I'm just sharpening up the top liner look, and then I'm going to go underneath, and I'm actually going to extend this. I'm not going to connect it to the top liner. I'm actually going to bring it straight out. So this is going to, again, open up the eyes even more, create almost like a 60s kind of glam moment in the eyes. As you can see, there's like almost like a little gap on the outer corner. So I just like this to really elongate the eye. It creates different shapes, and it makes the eyes look a lot bigger as well. So for mascara, I am using the Essence Lash Princess, the False Lash Effect Mascara. This mascara is so good, and it's only $7 AUD. Okay, if you're in America, it's probably like $3 or probably $2. It's just such a good mascara. And then I'm gonna go in with the Dip Down Gel Liner by M.A.C, and I'm just adding to the waterline. So I'm tight lining on that lash line, again, just to accentuate the lashes. It just makes the lash line pop a lot more. Using the excess gel liner that I have on my hand, I'm actually going to use my extra small pointed cotton tips and enhance her beauty spots. I love doing this. It makes the skin just look way more natural, and also it personalizes her makeup. Beauty spots are just so wonderful. Freckles, they are all what make you you. So I really like to enhance those. Also, it's a great thing if you got a little pimple or something, just pop a little bit of a beauty spot on there. Why not? Okay, I'm just loving the Pink Honey products at the moment, and I'm using the Blush Bubble in Girl Code. This pink blush is so cute. It is an iridescent blush color, so it does have a little bit of a shimmer texture through it. So if you have a little bit more of a textured skin around the cheek area, I'd probably go for something a little bit more matte in this area. So like the Dior blush is a great option instead. But yeah, I love that blush color. For lashes, I'm going to be using the Harvard Beauty Light Lashes. I like to use a mix of the 12mm, 14mm, and 10mm. And I really focus on the outer corner of the eyes with these ones. I'm going back to the eyes, and I'm going to use my Rescue Smonger brush and apply the Pat McGrath highlighter in Iridescent Pink, the 003 color, and just popping that on the brow bone. Don't always like a brow bone color, but for this look I was just, it's such an, well, it is an iridescent color as it says, so it's not like a frosty white. It just kind of will shimmer in the light, and I just was really vibing that. And now I'm taking the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Exaggerize, and I'm using the creamy color just in that waterline, just in the center, just to make the eyes pop a little bit more. And then I'm going to go in with the Wherever Walnut by Makeup Forever. This lip liner has a huge chokehold on me, guys. This is just a beautiful lip liner. And now, you know me, I've always been a bit of a brown lip gal, But this is the first lip liner that I've applied, even on myself, that I was like, I am comfortable with this amount of pink. It is so beautiful. If you are looking for a perfect pink shade, like forget Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury, this is the one for me. This is the lip liner that I feel like suits everyone. For the lipstick, we're doing a bit of a mixy moment, and I'm doing the Charlotte Tilbury matte blush that we used on the cheeks, mixing that with the Pink Honey Blush Bible in that girl, what is it, the Girl Code. Perfect poppy pink, honestly, nice and creamy, but that matte blush is going to help it stay on, and I just loved it. I was like, this reminded me of when I was younger, but it's just an updated version. I also decided to add that Pat McGrath highlighter in the iridescent pink just on that mobile lid because I thought, why not? We've gone that little bit extra today. Oh, there I go, adding it on the inner corner there too because it's just so pretty. And look, that is the look. If you love this look, I would love for you to leave a review. Let me know what you thought. But yeah, I'm going to be bringing more of these, so stay tuned, and love you guys so much. Thank you for having me.